And welcome back to Persona 2 Innocent Sin. Rumor has it we're still stuck in this place that's not gonna be a casino yet, but will be later. So let's try and find Lisa's friends.
Sure. Let's try to fix the numbers before it becomes a real casino, then we can make millions, like on.
Yeah. Which is actually the strat. It is the legitimate strat for this, because again, you can spread the rumors to make one specific game have the high payout, but I don't really know which one to make that yet. Because it can be slots, poker, or something else that I forget.
Is it randomized every playthrough?
No, it's just those same three things that you can make that have the high payout. It's not randomized at all.
Okay, so these KKK members are green. What are they weak to? Are they weak to Zeo?
They are wind, so they would be weak to earth.
Damn it. Wait, what? How do they cancel each other out? Wait, how are they weak? Grass isn't strong to fire in Pokemon!
You're going off Pokemon for this?
Well, it's elemental weaknesses, man. It's what I grew up with. Don't criticize me.
Okay. Yeah, but the way this works is basically you have the four primary elements, earth, air, fire, water, then there's electricity, nuke, PSI, and ice that are separate from that. And
yeah,
they're basically like different kind of tiers of magic, types of magic, where...
And how nuclear bomb is not the best one baffles me.
Yeah. Rumor has it nukes aren't even that effective.
Tell that to the world.
Yeah. Okay.
See how far it gets you.
It didn't work in Metal Gear.
Well, have you ever seen the nuke go off in Metal Gear? Shows you. Wait a minute.
No, but they talk about how bad they are all the time.
True.
Yeah, these guys are wearing the green cloaks, so they use the wind element as shown there with Magaru. And here's my Magna.
Here's my Magna. It's just like the ghetto way of telling a zombie you have a Magnum in Resident Evil. Here's my Magna. Bang. Well, I shouldn't have fucked with Leon when he was... Leon? Okay. Leon. When he was doing his gangster pose. Well planned.
If you couldn't... Yeah, if it wasn't already obvious enough, the whole rumor being spread about Lisa's best friends starting this band and now it became so popular is because of the Mass Circle. I mean, if it wasn't already obvious from the members of the Mass Circle running around and just fighting you all the time in here.
If it wasn't obvious, then why are you watching this LP?
I don't know. That is a strength card, and immediately after I run into an enemy. But the strength cards are something that you...
That card is a hologram! I want that card!
No, mine.
Says the enemy. Oh, damn it.
But what those cards basically do is up the stats for your party members. Like, whoever you use the card on, their stats will be increased. Like, it's really simple, in all honesty. And you may be... I'm losing myself. But basically, if you put the strength card on, say, Akechi, his physical attacks will go up. If you put a AG, because it's not agility, it's... Well, actually, I forget. It's been so long I've forgotten the stats themselves. But basically put in strength, dex... No, it's DX that isn't dexterity. It's something completely different that ups your magic strength. Which is extremely overpowered.
Some of the corrections will probably be in text on the screen. Thank you, Mr. McFumbly Words.
Indubitably, of course. Yeah.
I make fun of him, but he's gotten a lot better since we started doing this.
Yeah, I try.
Well, at least someone does.
My Magna. My Magna.
You know, my Magna don't take you out, boy.
No, that didn't, but this Omni-Dimension will, by sucking him into a black hole.
Well, if that doesn't kill you, I don't know what would at that point. Like, gets sucked into black hole, survives. Like, okay, you're a legend, sir. You deserve to win the game.
How? And why?
That is bullshit crazy, I must admit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then again, I look at Naruto characters, I'm like, they survive planetary destruction moves all the time.
Yes, they do, and I don't understand it at all.
Oh well, that's shown in anime for you.
Finally, a break from
Look,
the Mass Circle members. It's Nekomata.
Can we go back to the cult members?
No, we must talk with the cat.
No! I don't like cat girls, it's overrated.
Yes, they are.
Except for in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and even then, you could take the cat ears off her and she'd still be a good character. And same with Blake and Ruby. God damn it.
I would argue different for Blake, considering that's actually one of the biggest parts of her story at this point. But
Listen.
okay, fine, Tatsu.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Cancel a pact so that we can talk again, and I can give you free stuff that isn't actually worth it because I canceled that pact later.
GG's. Also, geez, Tatsuya, stop trying to get a date. With
But
cat
there
girls.
can't possibly be someone here that wants to date me. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That
Almost like
chest.
it could be. Sorry, I had a real big
That
cough.
chest stole my mana. Or SP.
I want my imaginary magic powder back.
Oh, great, we got a Robin Goodfellow. And he has Hula of Misfortune.
Oh lord! On top of isn't this one of the ones that can explode on you too?
Yeah, and that's why I'm negotiating with it.
Please don't explode on me. Okay, where are you willing to pay me? Motorcycle noises.
Vroom vroom.
Vroom vroom. Okay, you're my type of fellow.
And I'm gonna stare into its eyes. What do you want? I want you to get lost.
Please leave. You are a walking nuclear bomb.
Yes, you are. And what I want from you is tarot cards.
You do look strong. You look like you could create a big explosion.
Yes.
Look into my eyes.
Look
And
into my eyes.
20 tower cards. That is good. And thankfully we don't have to negotiate anymore, because I do not want to negotiate with Robin Goodfellas on the off chance that they actually Hula of Misfortune me. Even though I'm kind of broke at this point.
Uses Hula of Misfortune. Listen, bub, you can't take much from $20 out of my wallet.
Oh man, now I only have $10.
Yeah, it's like that exchange happens and he says that later. Man, I can't believe I lost $10.
And I don't even get them back when I kill them. And this,
That's the problem.
yes, this
'Cause
is
see,
a,
when-
this was a monster in a box. This is a Faust. It is a rare enemy that is 5 levels ahead of me, and I'm going to beat it to death.
Get it! Get it! It's 5 levels higher! Gang up on it! You know, I'm surprised they don't look at more of the enemies and just go, you know, if we all just circle around it and just beat it with our sticks, it's probably gonna die at some point.
I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them can teleport, and I mean, you don't want to smack a bomb with a stick.
I mean, have you tried it? You don't know until you try. It could deactivate it.
Yeah, I'd
Whack
love
a
to ask
bomb
the
with a
last person who did that. Wait, where'd they go?
Why is there just 2 shoes here? What happened? Free shoes. Oh, there's feet in them. Oh well.
Gross.
You don't want to whack a bomb with a stick. That's gold. Some of the stuff we come up with is just hilarious.
I forget what Faust himself is weak to, so I'm just basically hitting him with all of the main 4 elements and seeing what he's weak to, along with the black hole, just because, and it doesn't work. Because it's basically like
Throwing
Muto.
everything, including the.
It's like,
Equivalent of throwing everything in the kitchen sink it, but yeah.
yeah. But the black hole doesn't work because it's an instant kill on a random chance of actually killing. Because like Mudo or whatever it is for the dark type element, it doesn't work unless you get the good RNG or the enemy is weak to that element. And since Omnidimension has no specific element that it can be strong against, or a specific enemy that it's weak against, it doesn't really work unless you're a significant amount of levels higher, and that usually isn't the case. Unless you're going, especially when you get a skill later on called a Stoma, where basically you won't run into any enemy encounters if they are lower level than you. And it is amazing for grinding.
Huh. But it's also at the catch of like that entire spell is useless in the game, and it's kind of programmed poorly. Kind of reminds me a little bit of like the level so-and-so death spells in older Final Fantasy games, where even those kind of have more of a use, but they're so specific that there's no point other than completion sake to getting them. Like, you can get level 5 death, and what that means is level 5 death will work on any random mob that's of a variant of 5 levels. So, 5, 15, 5, 10, 15, etc., etc. But the catch is, A, only works on mobs, and B, you can't really see the levels of enemies until you get scanned, and even then, it's just all the effort you're putting into it, you might as well just kill it outright.
Yeah. And what we got from the Faust was a miracle egg. It restores 400 SP, and late game, that is going to be amazing. Even though we do restore SP by just walking around, you're going to be using a lot more of it later on in the game. Especially compared to right now.
I can't wait to get to RE4, boys. Where half of my inventory is just going to be golden eggs.
Not even these ladies can handle this much narcissism. Because Akichi is a jerk.
Okay, Red 13. Thank you for your insight.
You're welcome, random one.
You're welcome, random spiky one. Spiky blue one's a jerk.
Yes, he is.
It's impeccable how you can do that damn impression so well.
Yes,
Like, you're the last person I would expect to sound like an idiot.
Oh, appearances can be deceiving.
Shut the fuck.
Slap.
Why did those sounds sound? That sound I made and what she made sound too similar. I'm a little weirded out right now. Why is there a ghost in my closet making moaning sounds?
I don't know. Let's see if we can negotiate with the cockatrice. Because we couldn't negotiate with the kids of wings on their hats.
I really just want to negotiate with my cock right now.
Do that off screen. In private. In an enclosed room. In the middle of the desert. In an enclosed bunker. Away from the rest of the world.
And don't tell anybody about the meeting. Listen, Legon, every man needs to attend to himself, okay? There's nothing wrong with that.
I think Maya may want to help you out with that.
Okay! We're talking now.
What pact are you gonna cancel? This one.
Rumor has it that Maya's gonna meet me in a room at 3 o'clock.
Rumor has it she's real.
Damn it.
Gotta
If
do
only
that
that was
first.
a real one. Damn it. Now I failed. Now it's never gonna happen, because I messed up at step 1, boys.
This dungeon... Something I didn't mention before is this dungeon is a bit of a maze, where if you don't go into the right places, you will miss out on some things, but at the same time it's not really horrible if you do, because most of it is just like, hey, gear that's 1 or 2 points higher than what you got right now.
Yeah.
Or
not
would have
bad,
if
but
you
it's-
decided to keep maxing out your gear and level grinding as much as you could at this point, which I'm not doing, I'm just casually running through.
Right, and not bad, but the unfortunate side of it is that you're always gonna want to. The reality of RPGs is a lot of them you're just gonna want to hold off and get that better leap in quality as opposed to just taking increment steps forward.
When you get the you don't want to when you get a status upgrade, you want it to be like plus 15 and not plus 2.
Yeah, or at least even a plus 10 is a significant step up. And as you'll learn when we get to Final Fantasy IX, you're gonna have to equip certain things that are just gonna lower other aspects of your character when they improve other parts of that same stat sheet. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's a reality that you kind of have to accept in some older RPG games.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Mm-hmm. Which, to be fair, in at least Nine's case, I kind of do, or at least there's 7's case. In Nine's case, it doesn't progress your stats as you level up. That's where I have a problem with something like 7, because apparently in 7, you equip a material, or you equip a slot. You know, equip a weapon, material, equipment, armor, etc., etc. Whatever stat that is boosting on that equipment will naturally progress with your character. So it's like only that stat is growing more than other stats. So it kind of can lead to unbalance in your character. And that's what I appreciate about Persona and other RPGs that don't do that, is like, at least you can still go back to a base level and build your stats in that regard with your equipment.
Yeah, that is one thing that I will give the Persona series credit for over other RPGs, because it's like, you can really go about it however you want and just almost reset whenever you feel like it. Like I say almost because it's not a full reset.
Yeah, if you ever need to just like see whatever your base stats are and build your equipment loadout accordingly, you're always free to do so.
Yeah. Something tells me we're almost done with this dungeon though, because those double doors look very story-like. Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's plot.
Really? Wouldn't imagine a band starting to get ready to play as plot, but only in Persona. Oh, also, just a quick point. That's what I do prefer about Persona over like stuff like all the Final Fantasies. Like, at least the only side bonuses you get from equipment in these games are purely bonus, and like they're special weapons that give you special stuff, but there's no negative drawbacks, or you don't have to get certain abilities using crap weapons, you know? You're always going to use good stuff regardless.
Yeah, that is one of the better things that I will give Persona credit for. It doesn't really do anything stupid in terms of gimmicks, like this armor will give you this negative stat in order for this high other stat.
Mm-hmm. But most of the weapons are going to be good anyway, and it's like, it only
why
does
bother
it
with this beginning part where it's not good?
Right.
And this is Sheba and Miho, or yeah,
Hi, mommy.
She is nicknamed she's nicknamed Shiho. Which, again, I said this last time, but totally not the inspiration for Shiho in Persona 5.
It's almost like Lisa is an inspiration for Anne. No way.
And Akechi for Ryuji, and also kind of Yosuke in Persona 4.
It's almost like Atlas reuses a lot of their concepts.
Specifically the Persona 2 Innocent Sin concepts in Persona 5, because those are so blatant. We're sorry we went ahead and did this thing that we had as a childhood wish without you. And Lisa's upset because of that.
Sorry. Just cut in the South Park joke. We're sorry. It's actually weird how much Atlas kind of reuses some of its templates and just gimmicks in general. Like, Persona 4's story beats are reused in 5, while themes and concepts in Persona 2 are reused in 5. It's like, it makes you kind of wonder how they get away with some of this.
I mean, again, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But at the same time, you gotta change something in order to keep it going well.
And I think that they're getting to that point with the new formula, but like, admittedly, Persona 3 was such a drastic change that they kind of earned the right to stagnate a little bit, even though it sounds weird to say that.
Yeah, they needed to go back and realize what did and didn't work, and then once they find that, they can change some things around and break the rules that don't really need to be left untouched.
3:28 a.m.
But now that they have a working gameplay formula that isn't as archaic and clunky as 1 and 2s admittedly are, I think they now can do that with the story beats.
Yeah, I
feel
hope
like
they
Persona
do.
6 could be a really, really good game if they can find the Persona 2 balance of telling a really, really good story. Persona 4 even kind of has a good story. And then find the gameplay balance of the newer generation games.
Yeah. And this is Giga Macho. Right now, it's a dungeon, but later on, you can turn it into a CD shop, even though it can already be secondary as that right now in this area with this one employee who
Even
talks
though we're
about
buying CDs
this,
right now.
Yeah, and he talks about this one specific character, and just that music track is, it's good, but it has that one drawn-out beginning note that you hear over and over and over again when I cut out battles, and oh, I hate it.
Oh yeah. See, that's the thing about older games like this. It's not as much mini games, like some games didn't do it, but like some older games would have this problem where it would loop the soundtrack after encounters, and it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, I don't
Like,
mind it too much usually here,
it,
but yeah, this is the exception.
There's a reason why everyone hated that glitch in FF7 port, the FF7 port to everything, where you'd get into a random encounter on the world map, or even certain maps in the game in general, and then the main theme of the overworld would start replaying again. So it's like you're literally going da 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 da, random battle, da 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 da. It's like, it just gets annoying.
And this Wraith is speaking gibberish, so I'm just gonna cut my losses since I see anger, scared, and eager all at 2, and I know reason gets up the eagerness. I'm just gonna go for tarot cards. 16 devil cards. I am gonna make personas as soon as I get back to this for recording.
I'm gonna make so many juicy personas.
Yeah.
You know, I do kind of miss that old school Persona style of you're just kind of in a fucking CD shop and it's a dungeon and there's demons around.
Yeah, where it's all in, it's all in the real world, and it's like, hey, there's just this bizarre stuff happening.
Yeah, it's got that real. That's the appeal of JoJo to me. 100%. Like, if you want a reason to get into JoJo, I think it's that. In the later seasons, where you just are walking around a real life, normal place in society, but there's weird stuff going on.
And then suddenly a minotaur crashes through the wall behind you.
Yeah, and it's amazing, and I kind of think they lost that with Personas. I want to say more of 3 and 5 because, or more of 4 and 5 because 3 still has a little bit of that tone going on with it in Tartarus, but yeah, you definitely kind of lose that in the more modern Persona games.
Yeah, and speaking of the minotaurs, they are such a pain to fight at this point in the game, especially with my current personas that I have equipped, where the Minotaur, yeah, they are weak to all 4 of the main primary elements, fire, water, earth, and air, but they aren't very weak to it. It's like they only take 1.5 times as much damage compared to normal. It's not that big a difference.
It's almost like they're giant, ripped, beefy bulls.
Yeah, they're tanks in terms of HP, and I don't really want to mess with them with that, so I just...
Please stop hitting me!
Me, Minotaur, you human, who better? Minotaur.
This reminds me of Tank Ceratops from FF7. Tank Ceratops! I should have an action figure! You human suck me demon awesome!
Yeah, I just want to negotiate them away because I do not want to deal with them in physical battle at this point. Like, yeah, I can do that later, but I'm just gonna scare them away by taking pictures of them with the camera. Because if you know Greek mythology,
No, my beauty side's not ever shown.
that cursed camera, you curse me. So I'm just gonna
You
scare
cursed
them
me
away
by
with the
getting my ugly
camera.
side. Triceratops, no one phototech head.
Ah, nice angle.
And how am I gonna take pictures of you for the action figure? Me belly hurt me, go home.
Finally.
Yay. Now we can deal with the Tengu, which really got a major redesign in 5. I mean, wow. Wow.
I don't even remember what the difference is here. to
In
be honest.
5,
Like, I'm
it's a turtle with a snake coming out.
weird. Oh, right. Yeah, that's weird. That's what it used to look like in Persona. Wow.
Picture up
It's been a
here.
while since I've seen it. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I've played Persona 2, but like, wow, I never correlated the difference.
Yeah, it's so bizarre when you look back and realize how much redesigning happened between games. And just like in Persona 5, it is strong with wind and weak to earth.
And yet the goddamn toilet demon still exists in every single one. And the penis chariot. Well, actually, no, the penis chariot. Well, no, it is in the majority of the older ones.
Yeah, and with that done, we are going to call it a part again for Persona 2, and we'll see you next week with Part 13, where we continue on with Gigamacho.
Rumor has it we're gonna kick its ass.